Good morning, everyone. It's Thursday morning, the 21st of November. I want to look at a passage of scripture today that we've looked at before, but I'm 72 years old and I've seen a lot of things happen in my lifetime. I've seen a lot of pleasant things and I've seen a lot of unpleasant things. I've experienced a lot of sorrow, a lot of heartache, a lot of pain, a lot of suffering, a lot of questions. There's a verse in Romans 11:33 that has been a great comfort to me over the years, especially in the midst of troubles and sorrow. Romans 11:33, oh, the depth of the riches, both of the wisdom and knowledge of God. How unsearchable are his judgments and his ways past finding out. There's another scripture that says, who hath known the mind of the Lord? Who hath known the mind of God? But this scripture, oh, the depth of the riches, both of the wisdom and knowledge of God, how unsearchable are his judgments and his ways past finding out. That's a remarkable, it's a remarkable verse, you know. Hey, brother Tito, 9126, how are you this morning? I liked your video on your making your tacos. I don't think I would have the patience to do that, but anyway. God's wisdom is infinite, you know. And just about the time something happens in our life that we think, now why would God ordain this to happen? A lot of people say, why would God allow that to happen? Well, God does more than allow. God does more than permit. God ordains everything that happens. And the quicker we can come to yeah, you're currently on a sourdough bread journey. That's interesting. Anyway, sometime I'd like to talk to you, brother. Maybe we can figure that out. I know you've had some conversations with Brother Michael Smith, and I'd like to get to know you a little bit better. But this scripture's been on my mind a lot because when the events happen in our lives, they're, you know, we say, well, why? Well, I think someday we may know why, you know, that God causes these things to happen in people's lives, you know. I don't understand a lot of things that have happened. I certainly, you know, when I try to figure it out, the more I try to figure it out, the more it doesn't make sense to me. Brother Tito says that one of his favorite verses, Acts 17:26. Acts 17:26. Let's just look that up real quick. But you know, it's comforting to know that God is sovereign. When we can't figure something out, we can always take comfort in knowing that God knows exactly what he's doing and why he's doing it. He has a purpose in all things. Acts 17:26. And hath made of one blood all nations of men for to dwell on all the face of the earth, and hath determined the times before appointed and the bounds of their habitation. Wow, that was very apropos for today, brother. Very apropos. He hath made of one blood all nations of men for to dwell on all the face of the earth, and hath determined the times before appointed and the bounds of their habitation. You know, there's another verse that we talk about quite a bit on this program, and that is that he has wrought all of our works in us. You know, he's wrought all of our works in us. And people think they're in control. Well, we're not in control. You know, and you know, Isaiah 26:12, Lord, thou wilt ordain peace for us, for thou also hast wrought all our works in us. Do you believe that? I know I believe it. You know, Ecclesiastes 2:11. Then I looked on all the works that my hands had wrought, and all the labor that I had labored to do, and behold, all was vanity and vexation of spirit, and there was no point, no profit under the sun. Well, that's what it seems like to us sometimes, doesn't it? Think, why did I have to go through all that for nothing? You know, why did I have to do all that for nothing? Well, yeah, Romans 8:28. All things work together for them that love the Lord, and them that are the called according to his purpose. And I mentioned the same scripture that Brother Tito's mentioned this morning. We find that Job's only answer was, you know, the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. You know, it's not easy to bless Lord when he takes away from us. Shall we accept good from his hand and not bad also? You know? Well, you know, I just wanted to talk about that a little bit this morning, especially when things are going seemingly not so good in our lives and we're having to face a lot of sorrow and struggle. Let us be reminded that all things work together for good, even the bad things, things that we don't like, they're working together for our good. And it gives me great comfort to know that. May the good Lord be with you in a special way today, Brother Tito, and all those that will listen to this later. And let us be reminded that God is in control, yes, even over marital problems and struggles in our marriage or whatever it is. God is over it all. May the good Lord be with you today in a special way is my prayer. God bless.